What's up, y'all? I'm back with a video because I was, looking on the internet, looking at a few things, and one of these celebrity semi-beefs ran across my eyes. And I wanted to make a video about LeBron and Kevin Gates because of the situation that had went down. And I'm just now seeing it. I don't really know how old this is. I was really in shock that the beef was what it was. Kevin Gates, man. Where do we begin? All right, I think I'm going to change my wording around. Instead of saying beef, I'm going to say a situation, because, when you say beef, a lot of people could be thinking a very intense thing when it's stated as beef. So I'm going to change it. Kevin Gates and LeBron's situation. Kevin stated in a comment, allegedly, I don't like the way Savannah look at LeBron. I like the way them white women look at LeBron, allegedly, in a video on Instagram. Come on, man. I had to pause right there. That's a no-no. Like, why would you just... I know, free to speech, you can say whatever you want, but why would you want to stir up chaos like that? If you say that to someone, they're going to get offended. Or they're going to think in their head, like, what? I don't understand why that comment had to explode the way it did. Because if someone was to tell me something like that, I'm going to look at them like, you mother, you know what I'm saying? You off top, any common sense person, and that's being told to you, or what Kevin said allegedly, you gonna kind of like look at that person sideways. Like, wait, what? What you just say? So allegedly, LeBron clapped back at Gates with a post on Instagram featuring 2 photos of himself and Savannah. He wasn't thinking about nothing what Kevin was saying. He went on ahead and posted with Savannah, different types of photos with Savannah looking at him and admiring him and, things like that to respond back to Kevin Gates. It's just, to me, I just feel like it was no point of Kevin Gates even saying anything like that, It's crazy. That's just stirring up fire, adding fire to the fire. Why would you want to do that? It just doesn't make any sense to me. But you know what though? LeBron responded after posting pictures saying kings don't concern themselves with peasants. That was a cold response. Kings don't concern themselves of the opinions of peasants. For anybody that don't know what a peasant is, meaning they look very down on you. It's not a good thing to be called a peasant. And if you even listen to the word peasant, it sounds, just not right. It ain't a good thing. Yeah, so, LeBron came back and responded allegedly. But I just honestly feel like, why did he do that? Why did Kevin Gates do that? Why is he stirring fire to the fire? For what? Now, allegedly, I've been hearing different things about Kevin Gates' sexuality, And it did say that Kevin Gates allegedly responded claiming he was being honest and expressing his love for LeBron. What? Look, allegedly, I'm going to say that. What? That's why I say it goes back to me saying I didn't heard, a lot of things about Kevin Gates' sexuality. Kevin Gates' sexuality is Kevin Gates' sexuality. But when you're bringing it to the internet or it get leaked out to the internet, weird stuff, what are we supposed to think? I know y'all done heard different type of stories with Kevin Gates and his sexuality and how he be talking. But expressing love to LeBron, like, what is going on? It make you kind of think, is this a joke? Because that's the way it looks. Like, why would you want to, like I say, put fire to the fire? Why would you want to cause chaos? Why would you want to say those things so that the internet can shake? Because I'm pretty sure the internet shaked. I got to look at when this came out. I just happened to scroll through some stuff and I seen this story and I said, I got to make a video. I have to. It just didn't make any sense. And I'm glad LeBron and Savannah held their grounds and, defended for themselves. So I go back and I take a look to see how long ago this story was, because I don't remember seeing it anywhere else at any different time than now. So this happened almost 5 months ago. This was back in April of this year of 2025. So I'm a little late, but still, it's still out there on the internet for people to see it and read it and realize that there is a situation here. And you got to pay attention too. For my fans that really pay attention to what I'm saying, listen to this. I don't like the way Savannah look at LeBron. I like the way them white women look at LeBron. What is that telling you? That's basically throwing a shot out to another man. You out there doing what you doing with them other women. That's basically what he trying to say. If you're looking in between the lines, don't let that fly over your head. Don't let that part fly over your head. It was a meaning behind this. I don't know why he would want to stir up chaos like that, but it was a meaning behind this verse, this statement. I don't like the way Savannah look at LeBron. I like the way them white women look at LeBron, allegedly Kevin Gates say. To me, that's basically saying, you know what it's saying. Yeah. This man is married. And you trying to stir fire up, basically saying, oh, he better off with a white woman because they look at him different. Why would Kevin say that? Why? To stir up chaos. Because something like that would stir up some stuff. Especially as being posted to the internet, everybody see it. You got to be careful out here. You can't just be saying stuff like that and putting fire to the fire, just trying to distract marriages and relationships, because there's people out here that'll do that. And they think it's fun. Or they think it's funny. Or they doing it for fun. But it's really not funny. And it shouldn't be nothing fun about trying to mess up somebody's marriage or relationship by saying things to stir the pot up. This should be Kevin Gates' valuable lesson learned, to just keep your mouth closed if it ain't positive. Talking about he's just expressing his love for LeBron. So you gonna diss his woman and diss him too? And think that's expressing your love? Man, come on. Gotta be careful. You in a relationship, you married, and people try to mess your peace up or mess you up in the head. You still got to move forward and continue to move on and still keep your peace. That's the goal. Keeping your peace no matter what. Keeping your peace through the hard times. That's the goal. That's the test. I hope Kevin learned a very valuable lesson. I hope he did. Because you can't just be going around saying stuff like that. People are crazy out here. People will kill you for something like that. It all depends on the person, how crazy the person is, how they take stuff like that. But I guess because it's LeBron, he ain't think, Kevin ain't think nothing of it. And just saying anything. You just can't be talking like that about somebody's wife and talking to another man like that. To me, you falling right into your own death trap. Guys, thank you for my 485 subscribers. Yay! I appreciate y'all. Y'all know I'll be back. Peace.